Hey, okay, I am going to show you guys how to apply your Dollhouse Lash extensions. Super easy, super quick. So in your little lash fill set, you are going to have a little spoolie that comes in it, as well as like a little tool you can use. I find it sometimes helpful to like wipe any smudges of bond maybe that you get on your face. So you're gonna take that spoolie and just brush your lashes out really quick. And then I like to take an eyelash curler. It's not super necessary, but you know, if you have shorter, thinner, or very straight lashes, this is a great idea to do really quick before you apply. And the things you're gonna wanna have, obviously your lash segments, you're gonna be taking these off, leaving them in their places, because you are gonna apply bond very first thing. And then I keep them set in their places. So how they come on here is exactly how they're gonna go on your eye. So this is gonna go on my outer corner, this is gonna go inner corner, and then in between. Besides your lash segments, you're gonna wanna have your bond, which is the black tube, and then the sealant is the last step. The sealant is going to just seal out any bacteria, oil, that sort of thing. You don't need a ton of it, and you're going to keep that as close to your lash line as possible when we do go in and clamp. And then the bond is like the most important part. If you think you have enough bond, you probably don't have enough bond. So if you are having any issues with your lashes not lasting, you know, up to the 2 weeks, or, you know, segments coming off, it's likely that you just didn't have enough bond on there, which I'm going to show you on the actual segments how much you need. The other thing you're going to want to have is like a paper towel with isopropyl alcohol on it, or oil-free makeup wipe, because you are going to want to wipe your tweezers down in between each segment that you pick up, just in case you get any bond on there. It does get tacky, kind of sticky, so you don't want your tweezers to be sticky when you go to pick up your next segment. So like I said, I already took my segments off and I did already apply bond. So you can see how it's kind of like glistening, right? Like towards the where the band is. And then you'll see that I put the bond a little bit up the segment. You don't want to go too far up this segment, obviously, because like I said, it does get tacky. So you don't want to lose like the wispiness of the lashes. So you're really only going up, I would say, maybe this much up from the band with the bond. So once you've taken your segments off of the tray and you have applied your bond, your next step is going to be applying the bond onto your natural lashes. So the bond, just like the sealant, has a little mini micro brush. So you are going to apply it root to tip on your natural lashes. And like I said, you want to put this on your segments first, just so it's getting nice and tacky, and making sure you do get those outer and inner corners. Once you've applied to your natural lashes, and then previously you already applied your bond to your segments, so you are going to be going under your lashes but above your waterline. Do not stick these on your waterline, that will hurt. Okay, so, and I've got a big mirror next to me too, just so I can see what I'm doing. So they just pop on there, and then I like to give it kind of a little push. They are not fully on there until you go in and clamp and seal. So if you do stick them on and you feel like, oh, I want to move it around a little bit, that's totally fine. You can just pick it up and off your lashes and then replace it. So we're doing our second segment. And I like to do just a little bit of overlap, just a little bit, you know, like as close as possible, but the more like little bit of overlap, teeny bit of overlap you have, like kind of the more seamless it looks. You know, if they're too far apart, obviously you're gonna have gaps. Okay, so third segment. So under your lashes, above, you can see above the waterline. And then I just tap just to make sure it's on those lashes good. Okay, fourth segment. Do a little push. Okay, and then here's my last segment. Okay, so now they're all placed. Once you're happy with the placement, you are going to go in and put the sealant on your tweezers, and you're going to go as close to the lash line as possible and clamp. And you'll notice that you're not going to get the whole tweezer when you go in, so you will go in here, then you will go in again to do the inner part. Make sure you've wiped your tweezers off with an oil-free makeup wipe, and then you're going to take your sealant, which is the white tube, same micro brush, and then your tweezers. You do not need a ton of sealant. It does dry white, so that is why I'm saying get as close to your lash line as possible. You don't want to touch your tweezers with the sealant like on the upper portion of your lashes, because like I said, it does dry white, and you're not going to like that look. So if you do find that you do that, that's why having makeup wipes around is really good, because you can just kind of swipe it off. If it gets on the inner, you can just kind of swipe from here. So yeah, that's really important to have around. So just gonna kind of clamp down on the micro brush with the sealant like this, and that's all you're getting it on is the eye part. And I like to just kind of wipe around just to make sure there's not extra sealant that's gonna kind of get anywhere, you know, like on your lids or the upper parts of the lashes. So once you've got that on, just take your tweezers. I like to just bring it right here on my face, like literally on my skin, to make sure that it is as close to the lash line as possible. So you just go in as close to the lash line and then clamp it. And then I like to pull back to get it off of there, and then just pull out the same way you came in. And like I said, if you feel like you got any on there, just wipe it off. So I'm just wiping my tweezers down before I go in to do the inner portion of my sealant. There, to get the sealant on. I'm gonna wipe around the edges just to make sure there's nothing on there. And then I am just going to go all the way in this time. Make sure you get those inner corners. And like I mentioned, the bond is pressure activated. So when we go in there and clamp, that is what's activating the bond. So then I'm just gonna kind of like clamp the middle right there, because especially the bigger, more voluminous ones, just kind of doing a middle clamp is a good idea. And then I have not actually clamped the other side, so I'm gonna go in and do that. And just make sure that you are going in and clamping with the sealant at least twice. I would highly recommend 3 times. But again, you know, you don't need much of this stuff. So when you are going on, like, you do not need to glop this stuff on to the tweezers. Then, like, this has nothing to do with how long your lashes are really going to stay on. This is going to help make it, you know, like waterproof and whatnot, though. This eye. So just get it as close to the lash as possible. Obviously, do not pinch yourself. Okay. Then just roll back and then pull it out. And as you can see, I got some right there. So just like took that off before it has any time to dry. That I like to just get the middle part together. Okay, and that's it, all done. So like I said, just make sure you go in and clamp with the sealant at least twice. I would highly recommend 3 times, and that's all there is to it. And then do not get them wet for at least 48 hours. You know, if you are showering, just like keep this whole area like out of the water. Do not fully immerse them in water for at least 48 hours. That is how long it takes for the bond to fully cure, to make them, you know, last the 2 weeks. Okay, feel free to reach out if you have any questions. Thanks so much for watching.